Some of these systems.
You want to see his?
You want to check out yourself? No, right here. That guy. Hey, you want to show him?
Right here. Awesome.
That's it.
All right.
Let's Q14.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the name. Hey guys, right here, Brent Tinsley. I am a co-founder of the Founders Lounge podcast. Excited to have Alex here tonight and Pete with 214 Golf. So,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've always loved to want to do, the idea of it, but I've always been horrible at it. So I'm excited about hearing about how the sim works and everything else.
Yeah.
If you guys are needing professional headshots or any kind of corporate branding, that's what we specialize in. Alex?
Let's go. Hey, Alex, YOLO Nerd and founder. And not only that of YOLO Nerd, but if you're not automating, you're not dominating. So if you need custom CRMs, automating your texts, emails, phones, you need to give me a call. Let's go.
Beautiful. Pete Weldon, founder of 214. We're an indoor golf simulator in Richardson, Texas. We're unstaffed mainly, charging memberships for people to come in, play on the golf simulators. And thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Cool, Pete. Welcome, man.
Welcome.
Hey, welcome to the Founders Lounge podcast.
Get it started.
Yeah. So one thing here, I know golf in general, there's certain etiquette. There's a lot of things that could be intimidating. You know, even for myself, I get invited to play golf a lot, and I was fortunate one time to have a client whose husband was a golf pro. Traded for some lessons. He was like, after a couple lessons, he's like, "Hey man, do you really have time to do this? Like, what's going on? Why are you coming here?" And I was like, "Well, I get invited to play golf all the time, and I don't know how to do it. You know, so I'm kind of embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like, I like to be competent and knowing how to do something." And this is way before Top Golf and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, "Oh, look, everyone has a bad day. Let's just make it look like you know how to play golf, and you just blame it on having a bad day." And I was like, "That's a really good plan." But sim-wise, if people are really trying to take their game to the next level, is that something that you guys are able to bring in more, or is this also for entertainment, things like that?
Absolutely. You know, it's kind of a hybrid of both of those things. Yes, we have a coach. He gives lessons. People are in there practicing, trying to perform, but I also built it to be a place where you can bring your friends and hang out. You know, it has more of a lounge vibe than some of the other simulators out there that are really performance-based. So it's the best of both worlds.
Okay, you can go either direction.
Either direction.
That's awesome.
And so what inspired you to start, 214 Golf? How did it start? What made you like, okay, this is going to be a good idea. I think I'm going to rock and roll with this.
Awesome. So, one, I have an amazing wife who let me build one in our house.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun doing that. And at the time I was working at Bank OZK, great bank, amazing people, but it's a bank, 12, 14-hour days.
Yeah.
And my wife and I, we want to start a family. And before I do that, I wanted to take the chance to be an entrepreneur. So I just took that passion that I had, fiddling away in my office, building this golf simulator, and decided to try to turn it into a business.
Dude,
that's freaking cool.
Is there a lot of holes? Is there a lot of holes in your wall right now?
There are
Just a couple.
some from golf balls, some from golf clubs. Like, it wasn't meant to be a simulator. It is a simulator.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what is? So let's dumb it down. What is a golf simulator, and how does it benefit players?
So a golf simulator is a tool that golfers use to replicate what a shot would be like outside when they're inside. So there's two different types. There's radar-based and camera-based. Ours are camera-based.
Oh, okay.
And the camera takes thousands of photos while you're swinging, measures your backspin of the ball, the launch angle of the ball, how fast it's going, and can tell you an estimate of where that ball would go on a course. So it's a tool that golfers can use to play a round of golf and practice their swing.
And you also can get feedback. You can see yourself in your swing and analyze your actual mechanics and things like that too?
Absolutely. A lot of them add on cameras so that you can have that added benefit.
Yeah, but their simulators, like, no joke. It's a next level simulator. Can you go more detail about your simulator? Because I remember, like, the floor moves a little bit. Like, this is the real deal Holyfield, man. This is not any simulator.
We leverage a technology called GolfZone. It's the #1 golf simulator in the world. It's massive in Korea, and they've just came over the United States in the last few years. And the big difference between this and other simulators is it's designed to play 18 holes of golf. So if you land on a hill, The floor is going to move. So if you're uphill, you're facing an uphill lie. If it's downhill, you're facing a downhill lie. And they have, different mats for the rough and the sand. And it's some guy's job in Korea to make really realistic sand mats, and he does a phenomenal job at it.
Is that part of the grooves on that part?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you're playing, you have your area where you're hitting off of, but you can use tees, or you can bring in different textures from a rough to being in the fairway and sand. There's
an auto tee, so the ball just comes right back to you every time. You don't have to go fetch it.
Okay.
And then from there, you can place it on the different surface based on where your ball went on the course.
So you have different surfaces all in just that one area.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
That's fantastic. So, starting a business, looking for a location, and finding the right location, and then, so what does something like this actually cost to run? Because you're leasing a building, you have to find the right place, which I think you found the right place, to be honest with you. So what does it usually cost to run a business like this, to buy, because you have multiple bays, right?
Yes. 5
Yeah.
of them.
So what is something like this on a ballpark? So anybody interested in opening, a simulator, what does that look like?
My OpEx is around $17,500 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's mainly the golf coach and rent. The beauty of this business is there's, limited variable costs when you do this unstaffed business model, because nobody needs to be there to, people can come and go like a gym. But
so I like for your service, you just, once you sign up for your service, you get a card, you can come in anytime you want.
exactly.
That is awesome. Okay.
So it's really about the upfront cost. Once you get that, it can be easier to cover the OpEx, but the upfront cost is really where you have to make a decision when you're making the investment or decision to enter this business.
Got it.
Nice. So for you, you're coming from the work world and banking, things like that. You're probably good at analysis, financial things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a data nerd by trade.
Data nerd. Okay. When you're going into this, there's so much more in sales and marketing. I mean, it's a lot more to it. Was that something intuitive and easy for you, or has it's been a journey? Like, what's going on?
Marketing is its own animal, man.
It
It's
is.
creative. It's also statistics. So I'm constantly playing around with my Instagram ads. We tried radio ads. Direct mail is on the next forefront for me. And figuring out marketing has really been the biggest challenge for me so far. Just trying all these different things, measuring the cost, the return. And sometimes it's tough to tell, right? You
You
can't.
do the lifetime value of the customer, and you're new, so you don't know if it's 2-3 years, how long is your average. And if it's Korea, maybe, I don't know how based the data is for the U.S., you have a lot of variables that are tough.
There are a ton of them, and measuring the churn. So we have memberships, right? And our goal is to have more people joining than leaving us.
Yeah.
So like
And retention. Wanna
exactly.
keep them happy.
Retention,
Yeah.
keeping them happy is critical. So we're about 3 months in. We're sitting at 90 members right now, which is awesome.
Wait, hold on. What?
Within 3 months,
Within
you've already
3
got
months?
90 members.
90
90
members.
subscription, recurrent subscriptions?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
Wow. So
You came out already with a game plan to blow it up, or were you connected in the golf world? How'd you get so many memberships so
yeah.
I
fast?
think part of it's the location. Once we put our sign up, we got probably 100 people reaching out to us on our website, submitting interest forms.
That's awesome.
And that was before social media advertising, which was probably number 2 in terms of the marketing channels that have been successful.
So
and not
you-
only that, with referrals, it's just like, hey, you got to check out this place, and the referrals are just coming in as well.
Exactly.
Really?
A lot of places charge guest fees or, limit your ability to bring friends. I didn't want to do that. Part of golf is the fun of bringing your friends and, being a member somewhere. They can say, hey, I'm a member. You can come to my place. It'll be free, which is cool.
That is way cool.
So we have gotten about 20 referrals doing that.
Wow. Okay.
So you've closed that you've converted into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just people coming with their friends and saying, hey, I
Yeah.
kind of want to join this place.
Yeah.
And I've been really happy with that policy so far.
That's awesome. So for you guys, I'm coming in. Do you have hours? You see, you have a pro there, but what are the hours? A daytime, 24 hours, or how is
So
your?
a member can come 5 a.m. to midnight. I would do 24/7, but I don't need that noise from midnight to 5 a.m.
Yeah.
People are after midnight.
Yeah,
hammering-
exactly.
They don't need
Hammered
someone a Saturday
drinks.
night walking in swinging clubs.
I talked to about 30 other owners before doing this, and the utilization is negligible in that time anyways.
Yeah.
So cutting off those hours was pretty easy. You know, they all said that that's where the risk is, people coming, staying late, and just causing a ruckus. So I figured those hours can go. But we are open 5 a.m. to midnight for members, and either myself, a golf coach, or our intern Kenny over there will be
Let's go.
there from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Gotcha,
cool.
gotcha. What technology are you using to improve golf swings, or specifically with the current simulation that you're using right now?
So it's pretty phenomenal, the mix of very eloquent, cutting edge cameras,
Yeah.
AI coaches, all the ball metrics you could possibly want in terms of your feedback from the technology.
Yeah.
And then my coach has his own little toolbox of tools, which include a contact bag, which is basically a weighted pillow almost, and some alignment sticks, really basic stuff. But that basic stuff makes a big difference.
Wow.
No, let me. So, were you really into golf before, or you got bit by the bug? Like, how'd you end up in this?
I got bit by the simulator bug more than the golf bug.
Really?
I love golf. I love playing with my friends. I hate 100-degree weather in Texas.
We're here in DFW. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Dallas. It gets
Either
it's
you're going to
windy,
catch tee time at
it's
6 o'clock,
crazy
6 a.m. in the
windy,
morning, or
it's
7 a.m.
hot.
in the morning.
You have
Yeah.
only limited time where even the weather's, okay to even play.
Exactly. Yeah. So I hated being, sweating in July with my buddies, sitting behind a foursome for 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah.
I hate that, but I love golf.
Yeah.
And the beauty of a simulator is if you come with one buddy, you can get it done in 2 hours, a round of golf. And there's no one in front of you, no issue. You're not sweating. It's just awesome, in my opinion. And
Yeah, that
that's
is
what
cool.
really attracted me to it.
And then you've got a choice of different courses that you may not ever even be able to play. I mean, you've got
Absolutely.
you got resources for all kind of things, or games if people want to do something a little bit different.
They're at 313 courses at the moment. They've got a mix of mainly, they're really big over in Asia, so they have a ton in China and Korea, but they're rapidly growing their North American footprint right now. I want to say there's at least 50 to 100 American courses on there, and my personal favorite are the ones they made up. So they're not limited to just real golf courses. They have one in Central Park. They have Lost Kingdom, where you're in a cool little jungle playing golf, and they can design them to either be super challenging, super easy for kids, and that just makes it fun. Something you can't get anywhere else.
How accurate is a golf simulator compared to the real thing?
What's cool is there are a lot of tools out there that are significantly cheaper than the ones that I purchased.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty accurate these days.
Wow. Okay.
The real difference is radar versus camera systems. Radars are better to take to the range, be outside, and they can capture the full distance of the ball, but cameras are better inside. I had a radar-based one for a little bit, and it had some issues because it's estimating how far it'll go based off it going 10 feet, right? Whereas the camera-based ones are just better indoors. I wouldn't take them outside, but they're phenomenal at measuring and estimating using just the point of contact.
Okay.
But it's able to see the club angle, the face. You have multiple angles to really get an accurate
Yes, sir.
contact. Are you also using? I've seen some of these systems now too, where the pad itself has sensors in it, more for home use, or things where you can do it with your TV, or is there?
So
Or it's looking at the actual ball trajectory as it hits. Like you have a screen it gets into, or
yeah, there's a screen that it goes into. The floor itself has some has a scale in it, so it can measure your weight distribution on your feet, which is critical to hitting the right shot.
I wouldn't think about that. I didn't know that.
well, yeah, if you even.
I'm
But so
just
for
I'm just
people-
swinging a golf ball. I'm just like, it looks cool, but I didn't know there was more that went into this.
So you could use this as a tool to really dial in any issues you have if you have a slice or hook or things. But you could also it's also giving you an accurate representation of what would happen out in the course.
Absolutely. People come in with a slice and they see it live on camera.
That's awesome. How do you attract customers to your indoor golf simulator? How do you normally do that?
Our social media has been number one. We have a great content creator in Katie Anderson. She's made really phenomenal content for us that's getting, 10,000 organic views before we boost it.
Organic?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And
And-
so a lot of likes.
A lot of, I want to say a lot of our followers were pretty natural, just from the organic content that she was making. And the references, word of mouth spreads a lot quicker when you can bring your friends.
To create an experience that people want to share too.
Exactly.
When people come in. So when you come in, do you have to schedule your initial? How does it start off? If I want to come out and check out
Yeah. So if somebody wants to come out, they can go to 214golf.com. They can submit a membership entry form or interest form, and then we'll let them come by for free. They can come play a full round of golf on us, and that lets them see whether or not they want to be a member there. And, at first I was a little nervous about, anybody.
Yeah, really
can-
try it before you buy it. I mean, this is the ultimate.
Exactly. I was a little nervous about letting people come for free, but, I've been really impressed by people running this business. And no one's abused it. I want to say we sign up over 50% of our people that come in.
wow.
For a
So there's a
demo.
huge demand for this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When are you opening your next facility?
Yeah. Where's 214 Golf?
2142? I don't know. It's gonna be-
That's a little bit further away in the pipeline.
Okay.
I want to be open for 18 months and profitable before I expand. The other thing is these things are popping up everywhere because it's low work, low effort, or it can be. I personally put in that work and try to figure it out myself. But people view it as, you can put 4 golf simulators in a room and call it a day. And it's a business, and they're popping up everywhere, but of different quality.
I get it. Not as quality as yours.
And for you to
Not as quality as
differentiate.
mine. No, absolutely not.
So for someone that's going to look, you're only here in one spot here in DFW right now.
Yeah.
For people that you're getting a lot of social media hits around the country. If someone's looking for something in a different town, like what are some things that stand out? You've done all the research on the front end here. What are some things that people should look out for, and what are 2 things that make your simulator stand out more? Like where it's more beneficial, or it's
So one is the technology. The technology can run anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000. It's funny.
Is this on a license base, or is just or is just a one time and then
just one-time hardware.
really
fees.
wow? What about for updates or licensing? There's no
There's an ongoing fee that's kind of negligible to
Right.
continue.
It's not crazy.
Nothing wild.
Gotcha.
So funny enough, I obviously went with the 50,000,
You
the
went with the
higher
creme de
end.
creme.
And right before they were about to be installed, I canceled my order, kind of panicking a little bit. I knew there were things out there for $10,000, and then I went over to a competing simulator, played on theirs, and just said, I have to do that.
You have to do the
It's
best.
just not the same without the moving floor, without the different surfaces. You get what you pay for too. That's really what people have been impressed by, and have made it a more immersive golf experience as opposed to hitting off a flat surface. And some of the ones that are, I don't want to bash any golf simulator because I think they're all phenomenal.
Yeah.
But some are meant for home use and some are meant for commercial use. And a lot of people are trying to use home golf simulators for commercial use.
Well, it's the same in my business. It's the same, I think, everywhere.
Yeah. Never go with the cheapest option and never go with the most expensive option.
I don't know. Sometimes you got to go.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes you got to go with the most expensive option.
Don't tell me that, man.
Sometimes.
So would you say this is like the Rolls Royce of golfing simulators for your deal? Because that's some of the best I think I've ever seen.
Absolutely, man. There's nothing out there that parallels it.
When I left your building, I told like 7 business owners, like, dude, I was at this golf simulator. He's a client. We're trying to work with this guy. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So I'm going to try to get him to your facility as soon as possible. What would you say is some of the biggest challenges you're facing right now in running a golf simulator company?
Man, keeping it clean. I know that sounds weird, but I think it's really important that the place is clean when you come in.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like when you rent anything, you want it to be clean, ready to use, ready to go, and keeping everything just smooth, easy, and clean has its challenges. You know, people come in, they bring food, they bring friends. We have the complimentary drinks and coffee. And so I have a cleaning lady who comes. Her name's Erica. She's awesome. She's also our cart girl sometimes and mans the fort for me when I'm not there. And getting new people in the door.
Yeah.
You know, I have some posts that work, but, you know, like any marketing, you got to switch it up a little bit, find new channels and new ways to do it. But keeping it clean and the marketing have been the two biggest challenges for sure. That being said, it is very clean. I just want to say we do a good job at it. I'm just OCD about it and want to make sure that it's perfect.
Hey, it's good. When I walked in there, clean, crisp. It was like the Rolls Royce of simulators, and if that's the Rolls Royce simulator, I don't think it gets better than that. It's crazy.
So, do you have different tiers of membership?
Absolutely, yeah. We have 1 hour memberships. The way it works is, so it's 7:30 now. If you have the 1 hour membership, you can book 7:30 to 8:30, and then at 8:30 you can book for the next available time slot. We have 1, 2, and 3 hour memberships for individuals, and then we have corporate memberships. That's 2 of our 3 hour memberships and a locker and a little bit of bay advertising. So there are some signs above the bays that they're both consulting companies right now, both of our corporate members. And it's just great for them to come bring their clients and, you know, book that specific bay and say,
And they've got
this,
their branding.
they got their brand. It's their home base. And it just adds something to that corporate membership.
And it makes them really feel a part of everything.
Absolutely.
I think that's really cool. Now, another thing too, for for events and things like that, have you connected in also with like corporate planners or events or birthdays or one-off, or is it more just memberships, or how's your?
So we've hosted a birthday party, a professional group that wanted 3 bays. We've got a couple more birthdays coming in next month. And it's nice to have that supplemental income. You know, each one's paying me $60 a bay per hour, like the traditional Topgolf model. But I try not to
Promote it
that much. You know, it's nice when people do it, but I want to make sure that we have those Friday night spots available for members, those Saturday during the day spots for members. And a lot of events want to book those Friday nights, the
Saturdays.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I make sure to only do 1 or 2 a month and keep it to the off hours.
Can people actually improve their actual their golf swing, or just improve their golfing just by a simulator?
Oh, absolutely. I've taken about 20 strokes off my game. I started
20.
off. I started off at around 110.
You can hit in the 80s occasionally.
Yeah, I could get there.
So that's pretty proficient. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah. It's really great for making contact, getting your repetition in, and fixing your swing.
Yeah.
You know, you just get a lot more feedback with your full swing. Short game is a little different. It's a slightly different animal. Putting is never the same on a
different ball
simulator
game. Short game, long
as it
game.
is on a course.
Yeah.
You know, the people at Golf Sun might hate me if they see this, but I tell everybody that you can get better at every single aspect of golf except maybe putting.
Because, I mean, the biggest part is really the approach, you know, your chipping, your irons, getting in there.
Absolutely. That's where the moving floor plate becomes critical for those close range shots, because there's no flat shot in golf, especially when you're chipping. And I've actually seen some major improvements in my chipping since I installed these systems.
And then you said there's also special AI little babysitters, or what would you call it?
Yeah.
AI golf coach.
AI golf coach.
Okay.
So you can go to the range, you can take your shots, and then you can send your shots to an AI golf coach if you want.
Oh, wow.
And that coach will break down your swing, the different aspects of it, and give you some
not a
solid
remote,
feedback.
not a real person, but an AI analyzes it, and then is that something that's included in the membership, or this is an extra
Included
fee?
in the membership. It's part of the technology.
So we can go through, analyze things like, hey, but then having a real person too to be able to talk to you and see you as well gives you best of both, like both worlds. You have a human, you got the AI.
Yeah, we can't replace Ryan with a robot quite yet. Not yet, Ryan. But we can give you some of the main pointers that you would get. You know, it's AI. If you give it 10 shots, it's probably going to give you the same tip 4 or 5 times, whereas Ryan can give you more of a human touch to
Little
it.
nuances,
the drills that you should work on for your specific swing. He's great, man. Really great at breaking down a golf swing and making it simple for people, because there's so much that goes into it that if you're out there thinking of 8 different things, you're going to mess up. Those 8 things that you're thinking of can be right. You can do it. You're probably going to mess up anyways. If you just have a couple good pointers and a couple drills at a time to work on and build on that, you can get a lot better.
And build that muscle memory. And then, like, so with your system too, though, you're getting a lot more consistency because you're able to really see, I mean, instantly kind of feedback, like knowing exactly. You're not just like, oh, the ball kind of did something, you know, like you're able to really see, okay, it's really ball spin, speed, distance.
Absolutely.
When you're trying to dial in, you know, your 7-iron, you're like, no, I really want to be in this range where I know my clubs and my distance. And
yeah, no, it gets you your numbers, which, you know, you can get on most other simulators. What's great about this one is it shows you your club path, you know, as you're hitting the ball, where you hit the ball on the club, your weight distribution, and a replay the second you're done hitting. So you can see every single little aspect of your shot down to the point of impact.
and then for that, you can bring your own clubs in, and then you also have clubs there for people to use, or what's the...
That's the way it goes. We have some loaner sets, you know, left-handed, right-handed for men and women, but people mainly, you know, if you're joining a membership-based golf simulator, you typically have your clubs.
Have your own set.
But they're great for events and, you know, the occasional guest that doesn't
And are there
have clubs.
sensors you need to apply to your golf club, or it's just from the cameras?
Right.
And-
I think
No, that's one of the big difference makers in these sims is you don't have to add any of those added stickers or anything to get all the metrics.
You just come in as you are, and then you can really see that feedback.
Exactly.
I mean, that's got to be hugely valuable. And I mean, I see so many people that get really bit by the golf bug, and I mean, they just want to improve. You know, I mean, to be able to get 20 strokes off is huge. But even if someone get 3 to 5, I mean, they're going to be super happy when they're going out with their friends. I mean, when they're out in an actual, especially when you're paying some huge, you know, fees for green fees. I mean, to go play in even anything, or you're the guy in the scramble now that you're like, hey, we want you on the team this time. You know, I do some charity stuff, and like it'd be nice to be invited. Like, hey, we want you there, not taking pictures, but we want you to actually come out and shoot. You know,
No,
we have to go.
Exactly. It's really cool how quickly just the feeling that you get, you know, when you hit it right, and you know when you hit it bad, and just the contact improvements that you can make just by getting your repetitions in, you start to notice that pretty quickly, which is
well, I can even see too. I mean, if you really know the contact, like, okay, I'm hitting a little bit on the toe, or my face was a little bit open, you're able to make those adjustments. Whereas before, you're just sort of guessing. You know, if you're the driving range, just whacking balls and.
And that's kind of the difference between, you know, Top Golf versus a simulator, right? Because I remember when you swing at his simulator, you actually get to see almost like it's a replay of your actual swing. And that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like, you actually get to see yourself full swing, and dude, it's absolutely incredible. I can't explain it. It's the most coolest thing I've ever seen.
So with this though, I mean, you've made huge improvements. Do they have numbers for people what they can expect as an average? You know, kind of low end or high end for improvements, or?
What do you mean by that?
Like, so for people, I mean, Korea, they have a bunch of data for where the system's out of. Do they have, like, sort of, you can kind of, I mean, I can't make like guarantees, but like, hey guys, like the average person's going to pull 5 strokes off their game. Like,
Yeah. It gives you an estimate of how far they expect you to hit that club, and then over time it learns a little bit about how far you hit that club. So when you're out on the course, it can make better estimations.
Got it.
Or on the course.
So for somebody that's interested in, you know, for golf simulation, like what you offer, and they just, I don't know what to do, would you recommend somebody that's never even swung a golf to come to a simulator like yourself, or get coaching? What do you recommend?
So what's cool about simulators is it's great for beginners. You know, On an actual course, about 20% of the participation is women. Off-course golf, about 40% is women. And the same thing goes for minorities. So for people...
Hold on, say it again. You're saying...
On-course golf, like when you actually go to a golf course, only about 20% of the golfers are going to be women. Off-course golf, like Top Golf simulators, about 40%. And the same thing goes for minorities. So it's really broadened the game quite a bit, this new technology. And groups that, previously were underrepresented in golf are now represented, which is really cool. And that just is a testament to how beginner friendly it really is. Because when you're on a simulator, you have a little mulligan button. You don't have to go chase your ball in the bushes.
And you can just drop and
Exactly.
just beep.
What does coaching cost? What does that look like? What does lessons look like? Is that part of the plan? Can they go on your website and book for coaching lessons, or just?
Yeah.
Or,
so the way we priced it is a competitive golf lesson in DFW is around $175, and if you're not a member, you can book a golf lesson for that much. For our members, I wanted to take off $50, the price of booking a bay at another competing spot, and make it $125 per lesson. So it's a little bit more affordable, and they're only paying for the coach themselves because they're already paying to be at the facility.
yeah. Okay. That's awesome.
And then I think one thing, so like down here where my office is, there's a pottery place. And I have, unfortunately, not like you, I didn't get 100 members joining my business. We're more of a B2B business, and we're in a retail shopping center. But the owner's husband came in for some headshots when he saw my sign. It was one of the few customers I've actually had come in from being in a retail center. But their business, they have sort of a mix of, it's pottery, so it's something that people are curious about. They want to do it. So they make it very beginner friendly with courses, but it's also something that takes time. So people kind of understand. But instead of doing like an 8-week lesson or a 12-week thing, they just kind of put people into like, hey, it's a month-to-month membership. On average, you should expect to be able to be proficient in pottery maybe in 8 weeks. And we give you a curriculum kind of as you go. Do you have something to kind of maybe more attract more beginners? Like, hey, look, I know how it is. I've been super intimidated by golf. This is like a beginner-friendly sort of fast track where we can get you on a basic plan, kind of like a personal trainer. Like, hey, if you come out once a week or twice a week, these are the drills you should do, like sort of through that. Or I think if you kind of mark it that way, I think
that's a
because
really
I feel
great
like he was
idea.
telling
I'm going
me,
to do that.
well, he was telling me basically, so for their business, they were doing more like classes and things, but they didn't have that monthly retainer. So once they introduced the monthly retainer, all these people stayed on. But then they have the supplies. People buy the clay. Then they have so many hours where they can kind of book out the wheels, and there's kilns. There's like multiple processes for it. But
That's awesome.
they've been able to build that business up, and they even do online training, and they do teach pottery online. But like, I feel like if you can really go in, especially with those benefits, saying, hey, look, this is super beginner friendly, or you could say, hey, are you tired of your husband going out and having all the fun? You know what I mean? You can really target like, hey, females, or, even in the sense of you're talking about minorities, I don't use me for that, but like use someone else that maybe kind of matches that demographic, kind of speaking to them and, inviting them out.
I think that's a really phenomenal idea. We've had a few members come in, get the lower tier and sign up for lessons because they're just taking it up.
Yeah.
But I haven't really done outreach to beginner golfers yet, which is a large segment of the market, right?
Yeah, because there's so many people, and then a lot of these people don't want to commit to 3 hours, But if they want to come in for an hour, but then they have maybe even group lessons or something, you know what I mean? Where you can expand and say, hey, look, on, like even for me, I've considered some stuff like that where you can make it a little bit more economical for people, and then you're going to have attrition that churn a little bit for the people who don't stick with it. But the people that do, they're going to grow into those bigger packages.
Have you ever thought about advertising directly only to just golf coaches only? And the reason why I say this is because I had a situation with a wood flooring company where they were marketing out to the public. They just weren't getting a lot of hits, but then they started advertising directly to
The actual installers.
interior designers.
Yeah,
Having
having
a
like
lot of that business. So, and they're skyrocketed. So I don't know. Have you ever thought about that?
There are different services that
Yeah.
allow people to bring in their clients and use your simulator as a studio. Fortunately for me, my coach has done that already.
Oh,
He's
okay.
owned his own facility before. and it was condemned. I made sure it was condemned. So
To the ground.
It was falling into a creek. I made sure of that before I hired him, likely story. But no, he was running a successful center, and everything was going great except the falling in the creek part.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that he tried that before, and it didn't bring in quite the return that he was hoping for, because places typically have the best golf coaches aren't freelance. I'm sure there's some great freelance golf coaches who would hate that statement, but a lot of the best golf coaches are hired at a PGA Superstore or a 214 Golf or your local country club already.
So they're already on staff as a golf pro. They're already PGA certified, and
Exactly.
they're there. Or they're at Omni right now in Frisco.
Don't get me wrong, that it exists, and if I didn't have an in-house coach, I would likely do that, but I wanted to make sure what we were offering our members was quality.
So once he's maxed out on his schedule, then you maybe bring on someone else. Potentially.
Potentially. It really depends on the mix of demand for lessons versus demand for membership. So we have 5 bays, and the rule of thumb is about 35 to 50 members per bay, and I want to stay a little bit on the lower side of that, just because they can get booked up, especially during the busy times. And if I add lessons and they're bringing in someone who's not a member, then that limits the time that a member can use the facility. So it's really a measurement of what's the demand for lessons versus what's the demand just to come and use the golf simulator.
Well, for me, so I just went to the surf thing last weekend. It's up near the Puttery over in Grandscape, and they're only doing a month-to-month option. There are no walk-in options at all. They're not even allowing it. And they add 3 different tiers of packages you can do. And once you're in the lower package, you can always buy more time on the surf wave. But and they cap it to how many people can be on there at a time. They don't have like crazy surf coaches, but the people that are there, they give you some tips. But I think, if you keep it restricted like that, people know it's not going to be packed with a bunch of randoms, and then they don't know what they're doing. They don't know the etiquette. At least people that have a basic thing. But I think so. Even though for a membership, are you doing it month to month, or you have a commitment of so many months as a minimum?
I didn't want to put a commitment in there.
So you're still month to month.
A month to month. A lot of places have that yearly commitment, to get people to locked in and retained. But the way I look at it is, if somebody's not enjoying their time there or getting use out of it,
you don't want them complaining and being stuck in a contract.
You don't want negative reviews, like they lock me in a 1-year contract.
I want them to tell me what's wrong,
what I thought.
so I can then go fix it.
Yeah.
And so far, we've retained 90, or I don't know what the total metric would be, but we've only lost 3 members in 3 months. Retention's super high right now.
Wow.
And, of those 3, someone got hurt, someone moved, and someone...
They were legitimate reasons.
They were legitimate reasons.
And right now it's about to get hot, guys.
And
Listen, the weather's been really nice.
Reviews.
And we've been having really good weather. Once it gets hot, people are going to be like, but you can even dial your, I think based on sort of the seasonal weather, trying to get these beginners, or, hey, are you intimidated? I think that's a big factor for people. Even, even the gym, I noticed even as I get older, I was a gym rat when I was younger. And then even now, if I went into a gym, I would never typically be intimidated, but if you go into a place, and I can see how women would be like, oh man, I can't go in there, And I have a Planet Fitness I work out by my house, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But
is that their sign? No judgment?
Oh yeah, no judgment. They got the clunk alarm thing, but the thing is, it's a very, very diverse community and crowd that's in there, because everyone's comfortable, everyone's welcome. I think they do a pretty good job of at least making everyone feel welcome when they're coming in.
What would you say to the golfer that's consistently going to a golf course to go to your simulator? What would you say to them?
So to convince somebody who goes to a golf
check it out.
Well, I would hope it's either August or December. That helps quite a bit. And then I just mentioned that if you really want to improve, I think a good mix of both helps out. The feedback and video and ability to get reps in is unmatched on a simulator, but it's not golf on a course.
Right.
It's hard to replace that for a lot of golfers. And a majority of our members, a lot of them have memberships at the country club down the street. A lot of them are still, there's noticeable differences on our weekends when it's beautiful versus when it's raining. And having that mix is just beneficial for someone who really loves golf and wants to get better at it.
That's going to tie into my next question is, do you have a relationship with some of the golf clubs around town or yet? Or
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. I know my coach is itching to be able to offer playing lessons, like where you go out and play 9 holes.
actually go
with them.
out.
Yeah. And he'll coach you along the way.
Maybe
So,
y'all could do some sort of reciprocity, like for members, and then the members see and like it, and then they're like, okay, hey, I want to join now.
Absolutely.
You know, and then you're
something
able to take people
explore.
out to the club. You know, maybe they sort of join and get extra
Yeah.
members, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Win-win.
yeah.
There you go. Final question. What's the future for 214 Golf? What would you like to see?
Man, I really want a lifestyle business that allows me work-life balance. I'm not trying to take over the world with it. It's named after the Dallas area code. It's never going to grow beyond Dallas, but I'm hoping to have 2 or 3 of these locations and balance that lets me be a dad.
Yeah.
You know, it can be unstaffed, which is nice. I think it helps to have somebody there for part of the day for demos, for new people, to keep the place clean. But it does allow me that flexibility. So my goal is to have a couple of these, not really grow massively, but just have a nice lifestyle business for me and my family. And try not to.
Do you get a referral fee if you bring someone in to
You get
214?
a free month. So that's
Well, no,
Wow,
not just
okay.
the month, but I'm talking about for someone who wants to buy a business or buy into this. Is this part of a franchise? Or this is your own concept, or what's
This is
your?
my own concept.
So this is your. Are you thinking maybe to franchise eventually?
I don't think so. You know, right now, 3 of the top 10 fastest growing franchises are golf simulators in America. They're unstaffed golf simulator business models. And I think part of my appeal is that we're not a franchise. We're a local mom and pop with
Boutique,
a hyper local name and a hyper local feel. You know, when you start franchising it, a lot of the people that are getting into this are getting into it because they like the lack of work that can be associated with it. But I want to put in that work right now. And so I don't really see myself franchising it personally. But if the right partner comes along, maybe, you know, let somebody else in and have them open up the next one. But right now it's just me, and I kind of love that. I kind of love having 100% control of it. And, you know, the way my dad raised me, I probably could have gotten away with a lot of stuff as long as I was creating shareholder value for somebody. So I take other people's money way more seriously than my own. And I kind of love the flexibility that it's allowed me to, you know, give my people better contracts than I would if I had investors, and make some expenses to make the place better, you know, not necessarily the quick dollar, but how do I make the most quality experience possible for my members, and think like that.
You're looking 2, 3, 5, 10 years down the road. Build this,
Exactly.
continue to upgrade equipment as technology comes out, and
That's the other thing. You know, I like to think I'll have, you know, a couple of these in 5 years, but you never know with this
You never know.
technology. Yeah, you never know. But that's part of the exciting part of the industry.
Yeah.
yeah, well, it's super exciting. I got one last thing too, though. I want to ask for coming though from more the corporate world, banking, and becoming a business owner. I feel like a lot of people romanticize about it. They want to be their own boss. They want to have this flexible lifestyle. But what ends up happening for a lot of people is we end up just working way, way, way more. It doesn't actually create a whole lot of
What is
time.
that?
Is it? I mean, you're still in the building phase. This is pretty new. So after a couple of years, though, too, you'll start to see the benefits and the fruit of all your labor. But it sounds to me like you did a really great pick. I mean, this is awesome that you have this many members that quick. I mean, there's a lot of organic growth. From making that transition, is there something that stands out that you could share, just a piece of advice for someone else that's wanting to get into owning their own business or starting their own concept and their own idea?
Or brick and mortar?
Be prepared to learn a lot if you're going to do it on your own. If you're, you know, there's franchise routes to go down that's a little different, but if you're going out on your own, be prepared to learn a lot. I spent a lot of time on Reddit threads, Facebook groups, every article I could get my hands on. I cold called other owners and asked them all the questions that I had.
No, I like
And
how you did your due diligence before you open up your facility. That's actually
Thank
pretty
you.
impressive. And a lot of people don't.
Yeah, you know, you got to make sure it's a viable business. I think making those calls before doing the build is important, and the way AI, what you can build with AI right now and do, it's very tempting just to go out and build, but I think making something that people actually want and is viable is super important. So what I tell them is learn as much as you can.
Did you ever I know you said you cold called a lot of business owners to talk about what you're getting into. Did you ever shadow any business owners and just say, hey, do you mind if I work for you for free for 2, 3, 4 days and just kind of see how this runs?
So I had some owners be like, call me anytime and like really want to share their business with me. They were all outside of Dallas.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, they weren't too local.
The people in Dallas,
Where you opening up?
They kept their membership numbers tight to the chest, their strategies, what marketing works for them, because I'm now the competition. But the people outside of town were awesome and really willing to share a lot of insight and knowledge with me.
Yeah, no, I can attest to that. I ended up flying to San Francisco, working with people, Orange County, Orlando, New York, all over. But locally, I had someone like really just go off the rails on me on the phone. Like, who are you? Like it was like if you're close, that maybe go a little bit outside of your immediate area. I've now since gotten friends with some of these people, but not everyone's happy to see. They don't have that mindset of like there's enough for all of us. You know what I mean? Like that's not everyone's opinion. So,
hey, not only get a subscription from 214, but you got some total, excuse my French, kick-ass gear. Where are we at right here? Boom. Right? 214.
Yeah, these are awesome.
Pretty cool gear.
Thank you.
So you can pick up merch at the shop there?
Is it online?
We
online?
don't sell merch. These were originally for the employees. I decided not to have a dress code. We do give merch to our guests, to our members when they sign up. A lot of these golf trinkets cost $20, $30 in the store when they're $1.50 from China. So I just got some gloves, club cleaners, tees, and a golf towel that you get when you sign up for membership that, cost me $10, but hopefully have that return on investment and retention and being a part of somebody's golf bag.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, And then, I don't know, we could go down the rabbit hole of all kind of ideas, but even for you now that you've been in a few months, having competitions for the most referrals, for having maybe even partner with one of your local golf clubs and say, hey, we're going to get you a round of golf at this maybe exclusive place that you can't normally get into, or things,
I appreciate it.
Bring in some referrals, bring in some people.
I'm ready for a speakeasy
people,
golf.
especially golf. People are competitive. You know what I mean? If you give them some challenges, or even like the gyms, like my wife, man, she goes these boot camp things, and she's at a different one now. But they like to see that leaderboard. They like to see like maybe most improvements in strokes per month, like little things like that keep people and visually just, I don't know. I think it's such a cool business, and I'm excited for you. There's been so much organic growth immediately, and then everyone's going to have 1,000 ideas for you, but anything that can create that community environment, I think, is super important.
I'm glad you touched on that. We sold out our first league that we did. Had 20 people come and join us for 6 weeks, and that was awesome just to see all of our members playing together, getting to know each other. Okay. And they want to come back, and they're already asking me, hey, when's the next league? We do monthly tournaments that you can do a closest to the pin, longest drive, and people can enter it on their own time because the simulator is a controlled environment. We're not worried about somebody coming back and lying about how close they were. It's measured, and
they know.
Exactly. And Golf's On has a way to track it, and specifically make a closest to the pin tournament. So I agree with you 100%. People will get tired of simulators in a room. Really creating a community and a place you want to come back to is critical.
Has business networking companies ever reached out to you, be like, hey, I want to host a business networking event at your location?
We had a women's golf group in Dallas come out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do a little thing that was like a professional group. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for that too, lean into that a little bit. That it's more friendly towards, I don't know if I call it women or minorities, but like just speak to those people maybe directly and just say, hey, welcoming, community for that. And Yeah, no, I'm excited for you. It seems
Yeah.
like you really did a lot of. This is awesome. It's not only the fastest growing sort of franchise, but you having your own independent business and already having these systems in place, and your membership's already at a good position. You said you're on at least 35 per bay, so you've got a little ways to go. But I mean,
a
you're
little bit to go.
yeah.
Okay. I see our last client that we interviewed, VC Arena.
Yeah.
All his clients coming out to his location.
Yeah,
Venture capitalists
you in with Dan.
come out in his group out there. So there's a lot of cool people that I'm gonna start recommending your way.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man,
Thank
it's
you.
gonna be awesome. We got to get you out there too. Throw your swing. You're gonna be completely impressed with this entire simulator. So
hey,
let's do it.
We'll check the driver out, and then but for people to come in, you basically you get a free 18 holes. Come in, little tour. They get to experience it.
Absolutely.
And it's extremely hard arm sales. You know what I mean? Like we don't let you leave until you sign the contract. Yeah.
Not quite. But I think it sells itself really. Just when people come in and see the technology, it's really part of the job that I enjoy. You know, watching people light up and be like, wow, this is really cool, and want to become members. It makes my job a lot easier.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, I want to give a few shout outs to Josh. He found you, and Intune, I found you, and you know now we're starting to work with each other and hopefully automate a lot of this fun stuff and make it grow. So, thank you so much, Pete, for coming out.
No,
and
thank you.
Dude,
I know it's
this is
taken
super
a lot
exciting.
of work on your end, but I'm excited to get all my texts automated.
Yeah, all that fun
I've
stuff.
got over 300 leads that Kenny's adding for me over there. So having that all automated and organized is
Let's go.
a major problem that I had.
Yeah.
So
No, automation, doing this manually is almost impossible. Anything, not just leads coming in, following up, having it visually available, but beyond that, also even just all, because you've got a whole schedule. You got 5 bays, people are booking things, making sure they're reminders at the correct time. Having those text and email reminders are huge, just to make sure people understand and know when they're coming
Absolutely.
in. And have someone to have someone calling or texting people doing that manually is impossible these days. It's just too much.
Yeah, we've got a half dozen over the next week, and I couldn't tell you who's coming in Sunday and who's coming in Friday. So I'm really looking forward to having that, and also really excited to play around with the ads, the Google ads and social media ads, where the AI can create different taglines and make those little tweaks for you and know what's working and what isn't. Because I'm a numbers guy. I've tried so many things, but I really love the idea of trying 1,000 times more and seeing what works. So that's what really excites me about getting on board with YOLO Nerd.
Awesome, brother. Hey,
Cool.
man, this is all about you. It's not about me. It's about you.
Yeah, why not?
Let's
both?
go, man. Pete, thank you so much for coming out to the Founders Lounge. Man, that's all I got. You're awesome. I can't wait to come out again to 214 Golf and try some more of my swings. I totally suck at it. And a lot of my clients love to go golfing, so
Bring
I need
'em.
to practice on my long game, man. Brent, we got to get you out there. It's incredible,
and the
brother.
sim too. It's a less intimidating environment, and I can even warn people like, hey, look, I'm really not that good. They're like, well, we need a fourth. I'm like, all right, man, I'll come, but be warned. In a game, you maybe get 5 or 6 decent shots, and then the rest of it just sucks. They're like, yeah, I guess the guy really wasn't lying, man. He really is bad, But at least in a sim, they're not waiting on you. You're not hunting for your ball. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, that was a bad shot, but it's not dragging everybody else down. Or you're talking about like when you're behind someone.
Yeah.
And it's the worst. You got 4 in front. You're maybe just 2 guys, and you got 4 in front, and you're just waiting. And you're like, oh my gosh, come on, guys, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
That's what I like about scrambles too. It's just off the best ball. Everyone's moving. Like charities like that, just off the best ball. Let's move and
Quick pace of play.
There you
It
go.
matters.
yeah. If I lost my ball, whatever, I got another one here. Let's keep going. I'm not even looking for that one. Let's just keep moving. Sweet.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. This has been a blast.
Absolutely, Pete.
Pete.
Thank you for coming out. Thank you.
All
1,
right.
2, hey, we
Rock
got to
and
do
roll.
3, 2, 1. We're gonna slap it. Oh, let's go. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, hey man, you crushed it. You crushed it. Got in the zone. It goes all of a sudden.